Oh, this is so sickening on what's happening to America. I even had a dream of my grandfather that came back and said, "These are uncertain times." I've never seen my grandfather Honeyman in a dream. And that's the only thing I saw of him, was saying that these are uncertain times. And then he disappeared. Looking at all these TikTok um, posts and everything, it's very disheartening watching people suffer. People that are in the government are actually going to food banks. And everybody's talking about how food stamps is being cut off. And then at the end of the day, some people are applauding it. Well, let me tell you something. Even though you got a lot of lazy people that were on food stamps and kept having kids so that they can receive the benefits of having more benefits. Well, see, that's from the system being so messed up from years and years, because it used to be that people have so many kids that all they had to do was say, "I'm pregnant again," and then the system would go ahead and give them more food stamps. Well, let me tell you something. I've been on both sides of the track, and in my line of work, I have been up and I have been down. I've had money and I haven't had money. So for me to witness all these different changes with people having this type of language where they think they're better than everybody, and just trying to assume that nobody wanted the best for themselves, because of some of the life choices that people had to make. Let me tell you something. I wanted to become a mortician and study mortuary science, but the Lord said that he had something else for me to do. Okay. So I knew if I went against what the Lord had for me to do, that I would fail. And it would be hard for me to continue to do what I wanted to do. I always want to do what the will of God is for my life. And I followed through. So I ended up working, with my hands to prepare loved ones and friends and servants of God to be ushered into the kingdom instead of dealing with them after they were dead. Because see, it's nothing that I could do for anybody once they're gone. So I went ahead and I followed through on what he had me to do. So I became a hospice caregiver and a hospice coordinator, along with a medicine aid tech and a home health aide. So at the end of the day, I did what God had asked me to do and required for me to do. So over the many years that I had held multiple jobs, I worked in the IT department. I've worked in the technical part as far as like customer service is concerned, like being a hospital operator as well, while I trained for my med tech license and becoming certified to work in the medical industry. Okay, so I didn't like how the medical industry was doing, so I went out on my own and I developed a medical staffing company. Okay, so my husband got sick, and I eventually had to stop doing my company. I had nurses that worked on the outside. We all had contract jobs. I never took a part in that because I feel like when you're working as a medical professional, in my line, any contracts I got, was for me. I would go do the evaluations, and the work that my nurses did, that money was for them. So I never touched their income. You know what I'm saying? So it was all for them. We were all contractors. So at the end of the day, when I didn't work, I didn't get paid. But years down the line, I had put money away, and I had an IRA account. And my husband and I weren't married in the beginning. We had separated for a while, as boyfriend and girlfriend. And then when he came back into my life, he was very sick. So we never imagined that he was that sick and he was going to pass away. So I said that to say this. All the savings that I had and the little bit of money that he had put away, the investments that he had put away, we needed every dime to take care of him until the system worked for him. He passed away from kidney failure, and his heart was failing him. He went into diastolic. His diastolic level dropped, and he began to get sick, and his family, oh, wonderful family. His family helped me take care of him through and through. Nobody, just let me tell you, nobody is obligated to help you do anything. Especially if you're good and grown, you are responsible for your own life. Nobody is required to help you out the kindness of their heart, and that's family. They helped. They helped me all the way through to the day he passed away, to the day that we put him in the ground. They helped me take care of him. We finally got his income straight to where he was collecting his income because they went ahead and retired him out. And then the money that I had from what I made from working, and then my IRA account. When you're taking care of somebody, that money goes quick. It costs almost over $2 million to take care of him. I added it up. I looked at all his care summary papers from Medicaid and Medicare, because he eventually became eligible for Medicare because he was a kidney patient, and he was old enough. Well, no, I don't think he was old enough. He might have been old enough to qualify for Medicare, but Medicare picks up when a patient is like terminally ill, and they know that the patient is not going to survive. So anyway, Medicare picked him up, and looking at all the times that he went to the hospital and the dialysis that he had to go through, it cost about over $2 million to take care of him. So let me tell you something. You can prepare all you want, but anything could happen. Anything could happen. And everything that you saved, it could go away just like that. That's why I don't condone when people try to make it seem like they better than you, or they try to make it seem like your decision that you've had to make in life was bad. A lot of people want to ask me why didn't I put him away? Why would I? If God blessed me with the skills to do what I could do, and I knew that this man did not want to go into a facility, and I knew for myself as a professional that they don't take care of you in these facilities. I don't care how much time you show up. When my grandmother was dying, I stayed with her. I went to work, came home, took a shower, made sure my son was good. My son was good and grown where he could, handle himself. And I went back and I stayed with my grandmother. I spent the night with her. I slept in a chair for about a year, maybe a year and a half. Them hard chairs. God blessed me and blessed the situation where I was able to stay with her. And they let me stay in the rooms with her, even when she was in the ICU. My grandmother had never been sick. My grandmother Trammell had never been sick. Had never spent a day at the hospital for herself at all. She went to the doctors probably, but she was never sickly to where she ever had to be hospitalized until we were getting down to maybe a year before she passed away. So she got sick in 2011 and she passed in 2012. And every step of the way, a few family members was, with her to support. And when I had to go to work, someone else stepped in to stay there with her until I could return to be with her. And see, God worked it out that way. But at the end of the day, all the money that you save, not saying it's not possible, you know what I'm saying? I didn't learn anything about stocks and trades and anything like that. But I'm getting into that now, to where I'm trying to be smarter about the investments and stuff because I'm getting old. And I want to be able to make sure that my family is taken care of when I depart from here. When I do leave from here, my son already knows what to do. He knows who to contact, and it's going to be simple. No service, none of that. Because I figure if you ain't give me my flowers while I was still living, ain't nothing you can do for me while I'm dead. Okay? So at the end of the day, it's on how you treat people. and the relationship that you build with the Lord. That's what I think is important. You know what I'm saying? I don't entertain dumbness, and a lot of people think that I'm nasty or I'm mean or whatever it is. At the end of the day, they don't know me, and that's a personal thing that they're feeling, and I don't have nothing to do with that. Okay, that's their own personal feeling. That's their own business. I don't care. I make sure that I try to treat people right, and I treat people the way that I want to be treated. And if there's something that I'm doing that's not right, I want somebody to clarify that so that I can search my heart. Ask the Lord to search me and make me clean again, so where I'm able to give the people, make it acceptable in God's sight. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at all these things that are coming across in this nation and how people are acting. Racism is something that's natural, and people think that they can open and, they bold enough to do it now because they looking at somebody. They following. We got a bunch of followers and no leaders, and I think it's really sickening. So a lot of people are talking about what's happening, but I bet you they're not registered to vote. Stop talking critical about everything and everybody before you know the situation. Stop saying, yeah, that's good, and they're going to cut this, they're going to cut that. Everybody needs help. There's going to be somebody that needs help. And whether you think somebody's sitting around, no, they're not sitting around. I worked for all my life. I worked all my life, and I'm having a hard time getting what's owed to me. This is what I work for. I work for that. I pay taxes on that. And I'm having a hard time getting what's due to me. So before you go around and you think that you better than somebody, you got your nose up in the air, you know what I'm saying? You got your nose so far up that you can smell your own ass. Check yourself. Because one false move and one wrong move and one decision, you could be down in the ditches. Down in the ditches. Down in the trenches. And nobody would be able to assist you. You know what I'm saying? You be looking to get these the help that was out there before, and now that they cutting everything, you know what I'm saying? These people that got money, they trying to make it so that they gonna keep this money. And if they find a loophole to where they can get more money and shank you in the process, oh, they gonna do that. They gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? People are for sale these days. Humanity, thing of the past. Compassion, thing of the past. Empathy, thing of the past. People are mocking death. They'll mock death in a minute. Talk about your dead relatives and everything else. And I think it's despicable. Yeah, I think it's despicable. Ain't no way around that. Ain't no way in the world I'd mock somebody's death. Because I'm in pain. I'm in pain from a death. I'm grieving. Every day. And for somebody to turn around and mock death, yeah, you have a mental problem. You qualify for a check. You have a mental problem. But be careful. Because the day you don't stay humble, the Lord will humble you real quick. Think about all that. Instead of being the problem, be a solution. How about that? Don't go along to get along. Do what you got to do. Because you never know. Somebody's situation may become yours.